Welcome back to our little kart 1998 season in Automobilista 2. I must say I really enjoyed our race at Long Beach last time, and today we'll enter even more unknown territory for me. This will essentially be my first proper oval race. We'll be racing in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, Jacarepaguá to be exact. And only fittingly we'll race as a Brazilian Tony Kanaan, who started out as a rookie in kart 1998. In Long Beach, Kanaan had an impressive first race, finishing in the points already, so expectations are pretty high for his home race here at the Rio 400k, which rather is the Rio 200k for us, since we'll do only 50% races in this series. 67 laps of high-speed racing await, and here's how we will be going into this race. And Dario Franchitti and Alex Zanardi will be starting from the front row. Then we have Brian Herser, Jimmy Vasser, Greg Moore, Paul Tracy, Scott Pruitt, Gilles de Ferran, Christian Fittipaldi, Max Papis, ourselves Tony Kanaan start from 11th. Then we have Adrian Fernandez, Michael Andretti, Marc Blondel, Mauricio Gugelmin, Patrick Carpentier, Robbie Gordon, Alex Barron, Bobby Rahal, El Anse Jr., Andre Ribeiro, Richie Hearn, Arndt Meyer, Michel Jourdain and PJ Jones. And here we are rolling towards the start-finish line in Rio. Only a couple of seconds until we can press the accelerator full through. Careful on the throttle now as we start the Rio 400k, and we are already overtaken by Adrian Fernandez round our outsides, but into turn 1 we are late on the brakes and make it past the Mexican, but we lose a spot to Michael Andretti. Our winner in Long Beach with a pretty disappointing qualifying here in Jacarepaguá. This is of course the oval layout of that track that was also used in Formula 1 for the Brazilian Grand Prix until 1989. Now we're trying to make it past Max Papis, but we also have to look in our mirrors. Oh, there was a heavy accident involving Alex Zanardi, and we have the first caution not only of today, but also of the entire season, as there wasn't a caution in Long Beach, and this is how we're going into lap 2. We just made up a lot of spots and are into P4, and here is what happened. Zanardi is the car you want to look at. This is the red Chip Ganassi target car with the number 1 that is just trying to make it past Dario Franchitti, and there is a bit of a contact between him and Brian Herser, and then Herser hits him in the back, and that's quite of a clumsy accident. But anyway, Zanardi is out of that race. Well, and after the incident was cleared, we are ready for the restarts here, and we don't get the greatest of restarts. Neither does Herder behind us. So this is Marc Blondel making it past ourselves, and Christian Fittipaldi also into turn 1. We lost 2 spots, down into 6th now, and we still have to defend from Brian Herder, who's just behind us. Long back straight, now we can at least try to use the slipstream of the cars ahead. Slipstream very, very powerful in oval races. Well, obviously. Then out of the final corner we go. Oh, we don't get the greatest of exits. You can watch in our rear mirror that there is Herder. But now he has lost the slipstream by trying to take the inside line towards turn 1. So he wasn't able to catch up further. We're trying to see if we can make a move on the cars ahead, but no, not the greatest exits out of 1. And now Herder alongside us down the back straight, and he will have the better line through turns 3 and 4. And he's late on the brakes and even takes 6th from us, so we're now down into 7th. Not the best 2 laps after the restarts that we could have hoped for. And we continue our race, trying to get back into the positions we were before. Not the greatest exit out of 4. Lost a lot of momentum there. And Gilles de Ferran now also passed. But we might be able to pull off a counter-attack. We're going outside into turn 1. trying to take the high line, which isn't really a high line here, because the corners aren't really banked. This will be different in ovals we'll be racing on later. The next round, for example, will be at Gateway. This is a proper oval. This course here also referred to as Roval by lots of car drivers back in the day. So yeah, quite unusual to have such a heavy braking zone on an oval. Also something that I can explain to you right now. Oh, maybe hold on. There is quite of an issue for some cars ahead of us. Still trying to find a way past Gilles de Ferran. But I think Franchitti, was it Franchitti? I think it's a Team Cool green car. That was a bit slow there. Multi-car battle. Very, very exciting. And we can just fully focus on what's going on ahead. And we make it past Gilles de Ferran. Also getting a good run on Christian Fittipaldi. So we move up 2 spots ahead of turn 1. But I think... oh no, we're running a little wide through the corner. Going a little deep. And there is Fittipaldi. We are still ahead. But he has the better position towards turn 3. Flat out through here, but we managed to stay ahead of Fittipaldi for now. He's late on the brakes, daring move there. We'll leave him space. Trying to get early on the throttle. We were a bit too early and had to lift, so Fittipaldi once again past our self spot. Look at that slipstream. Towards 1 we go. How late do we dare to go on the brakes? We go late on the brakes. But that might have just been a little too late, so Fittipaldi moves back past, and we are also vulnerable to Gilles de Ferran, who's behind us as well. You can see him a bit there in the right rear mirror. But for now we stay ahead of de Ferran. Let's see if we can move past that group of cars. Right now, this race is absolutely getting dominated by Greg Moore, who was able to break away from that fighting group here. So Greg Moore really pulling away at the top. Kind of some time to breathe once again. You might have realized that these cars look a little different than they were in Long Beach. This is because these... oh no, I have to stop once again because a bad exit out of 4. Gilles de Ferran with a lot more momentum, trying to make a move into turn 1. I think that is... oh, we were faster in a straight line. He's still there. Now he makes it past. Yeah, I was about to say, the cars look a little different, as for different types of racetracks, they have different kinds of aero kits. And this is the short oval kit we're using here. You will see like super speedway layout or aero kits as well in Fontana at the final race of the season. They will look very different there than they are doing here. Scott Pruitt now vulnerable to us. We're not late enough on the brakes. And then there is of course the road course layout. This is the one you have seen at Long Beach already. This is also why I have to kind of steer towards the right when I want to go straight, because the aero kit is kind of making us go left or turn left. As we're now getting a good slipstream from Gilles de Ferran, and once again we make it past him. This is quite the back and forth we're having here. But very late on the brakes, almost collecting the rear of Marc Blondel. Great race here by Blondel. who is right there fighting for a podium. Now that very late braking has cost us a lot of time. And now we also don't really can use the slipstream of the cars ahead, so we might be even more vulnerable to Gilles de Ferran. There he goes. But he's not really ducking into a slipstream here on the main straight. That is kind of odd. Whoa, but how late was he going into turn 1? Really a bit conservative with the braking right now, as I don't feel too comfortable yet. I mean, it's getting better every lap. Slipstream against the Ferran. And no, we can't just quite make it past. Maybe now he's run a little deep. Oh, he's early on the throttle, especially out of that final corner. I'm really struggling on the accelerator, because the car really feels like it's unsettling very easily towards turn 1, late on the brakes, and this time that really worked its charm. This was a very clean, very straightforward overtake. Getting a little braver now on the brakes as well. Oop. Just as I said that. Collecting a bit of dirt. Keeping the Ferran towards the outside. Oh my goodness, what a heavy crash. I haven't seen who that was, but there was a car flying across. I think it was Mark Blundell. Yeah, it was Blundell. But that wasn't even... He's still continuing. He doesn't have damage. He just flew across the air. So this is now lap 18 we're starting here. Moore still in the lead, but now with the full course yellow, that lead is gonna shrink. As all the cars are getting back together. Kind of like a safety car in Formula 1. And here we go. This is the restart after the second caution of the day caused by Mark Blundell, who is still racing remarkably. And now this is Gilles de Ferran. Once again, a pretty poor restart by ourselves. Not really daring to try anything into turn 1. Very conservative with the brakes. So we lose another spot. But this time it just is 1. Not 2 like it was on the last restart. But just that little bit later, we have to defend from another car. This time it is Michael Andretti making it past ourselves. And now we once again lost 2 spots after the restart. We are lacking quite a bit of pace. We're not able to keep up with the guys as well as we were ahead of that second caution. And also Andretti now pulling away from us. And this is what happened a little bit more down the field. Andre Ribeiro trying to attack Gugelmin, but then there is also Mark Blundell, who is involved in another incident here. He spun Ribeiro around, and this was an instant caution, even though Ribeiro instantly continued. So the third full course yellow of the day now. And that is quite race critical. We are approaching the halfway point of this race. Rather, 1/3 is now done. And ahead of us, everyone makes it into the pits. Greg Moore has already made his pit stop in that previous caution. So he is not in the lead of this race anymore. But now we are. And actually, Greg Moore is now right behind us. And he has already made his pit stop. We think he might have to do a second one. Just as all the other guys that were already in the pits. Well, and now we're leading the field away, and this is not very good now strategic for us, because everyone behind us has made their pit stop, which means we will probably drop towards the absolute back of the grid once we make our pit stop. So, yeah, I kind of didn't think about that, or didn't expect everyone to come in. But that's what happened, and now we even have to defend from the two Team Forsyth racing cars, Greg Moore and Patrick Carpentier, and they make it past. This is Carpentier ahead of us. No, and Moore also passed us now. Who's that on our inside? Paul Tracy. But we managed to stay ahead of Tracy. And down into third. And this is not good because we need to take our very light car to pull a gap towards everyone, to not drop to dead last after our pit stop that will come in like 10 laps or so. And a bit later, we found back into our rhythm as these two teammates ahead of us, the two Canadians, really involved in their own battle. And they don't get the great exit out of turn 2, and we get a brilliant run on both of them. Greg Moore now ahead of us, and we also make it past Carpentier. Absolutely fantastic. Back into the lead for Tony Kanaan. And now, let's see if we can finally use that very light car we have now to pull away from everyone and to try to get back into the race after our pit stop. And we were able to extend our stint to lap 42. 6.2 seconds now between Carpentier and ourselves, which is brilliant news that we were able to pull a gap. Other good news are that I think everyone up to probably Brian Herta, maybe Jimmy Vasser, have to make 2 pit stops. So this race, or the points here, are still not quite lost. But this is now when we have to come in, because I don't think our fuel would last to bring us around the course for another lap. So into the pits we go. A couple of laps after our pit stop, we had to get closer once again to Max Papis, who's running in 20th. So we are 21st right now. But the very good news, and we are already able to see this here as we make it past Papis, and I think that was Alonso Jr. As you were able to see how late we were able to brake. So the grip with that fresh tires is absolutely outstanding. We're better and faster than any other car on the track right now. Ahead of us, this is PJ Jones in the number 98 car. Once again, main straight, getting that slipstream, and then braking late into turn 1, and we should also make it past Jones. There we go. Yeah, easy. That is now very, very brilliant. The car feels absolutely fantastic to drive right now. And we pull up to more cars. Andre Ribeiro, that was very daring. I didn't mean to overtake both cars here, but I did. And it actually worked very, very well. So that is really brilliant. So points might still be on the cards right now. We should be running in P16 already, if I'm not mistaken. And we have something... yeah, we have over 15 laps still remaining, so that might still work. Points are still on the cards. And then again, remember, I think there's lots of cars that need to two-stop. For example, Greg Moore. Richie Hearn as well. They were very early in for their pit stop. Another car we passed there, I think that was Mark Blondell. Yeah, we're up to 15th, Franchitti only 1.3 ahead. There we are, close to Franchitti at the start of lap 54 of 67. Not close enough to make a late move into turn 1. But now towards the back straight, maybe even turn 2. Oh, that doesn't really work. We back out of it. And oh, there's contact! And we're out of this race. Heavy contact, heavy contact. Oh my goodness. That was a horrifying crash. We must have made contact with the car behind there that spun us into the wall. Oh, let's see what happens. 4th caution of the day. This time, unfortunately, it is because we crashed out. Ribeiro. Yeah, Ribeiro was alongside us there. We didn't see him. He was a little ambitious. I don't know. Let's see how it looked like from the Team Penske drivers' point of view. There we are, trying to make a move on Franchitti. We back out of it, and ooh, yeah, a bit ambitious by him, but also we could have been a bit more careful. And that fourth caution was used by a lot of cars, I've talked about it before, to make their second pit stop. And that left Brian Herta in the race lead, and all of a sudden Michael Andretti, our winner in Long Beach, was in second. Herta had a brilliant restart and pulled the gap to Andretti, but just in the brink of 2 laps, Andretti closed the gap, and now into turn 4 is making a move past Herta, and once again takes the lead here in Rio de Janeiro as well. Can Andretti pull off back-to-back wins here in the first 2 rounds of the season? Herta trying it into turn 1. Not successful though. Andretti earlier on the throttle and manages to stay ahead of Herta. Well, and we are about to start the final 3 laps of this race. For now, Herta has kinda tried to make it past Andretti, but Andretti was always able to defend his lead. 3 laps to go now, as we just went across the line into turn 1. He has tried this earlier, Herta, but he hasn't been as successful as he is right now. Oh, side by side through 2. Good exit there by Herta. Oh, what's that? Shows the top 2 again. Yeah, there they are. Herta's still on the inside line. Wow, they're side by side for now 3-4 corners. But this looks like Herta's got it. Herta back into the race lead. 2 laps to go now only. Oh, and there goes Andretti. Andretti trying it down the inside of Brian Herta. Oh. Andretti past Herta once again. Into turn 1. Andretti a little more decisive and makes it past earlier. Herta really trying hard to get back into the race lead once again with the slipstream down the back straight. And now, whoa, through turn 3 side by side once again. Herta with the better line into 4. Side by side, who gets the better exit? Who is early on the throttle? Show us the action, come on. Herta past Andretti once again. The final lap is starting right now. Andretti trying it once again into turn 1. Lots of action in the background as well. We will look at the full results, don't worry. But we have to focus on what's going on here, as Andretti just made it past Herta once again. Down the back straight. Herta very close. Pulling alongside. Too wide into turn 3. Herta once again. This has worked for the last 2 laps. Will it work for the final time as well? Can Andretti hold on to the outside as well? And no, Herta has taken the lead once again, but there goes Andretti with the slipstream. He's alongside. Where is the line? Where is the line? Can Andretti still make it? No! Herta wins it. Unbelievable. 6/100ths of a second for Colton Herta. Sorry, not for Colton Herta. For Brian Herta were enough to win here in Rio de Janeiro. Andretti finishes second. What a showdown that has been. And here are the full results of an absolutely amazing Rio 400k. Brian Herta wins ahead of Michael Andretti. Remarkably, Andre Ribeiro finishes third. Now remember, we are just ahead of him when we crashed out, so just imagine what would have been possible. Gilles de Ferran 4th, Bobby Rahal 5th, Dario Franchitti 6th, Alonso Jr. 7th, Marc Blondel, Mauricio Gugelmin, Richie Hearn in 10th, Scott Pruitt 11th, and Patrick Carpentier, our final point scorer for today. And on the right here you can see the top 12 of the championship right now. Andretti still in the lead, Herta in second, then we have Franchitti, Alonso Jr., Pruitt, Ribeiro, Gilles de Ferran, Zanardi, Bobby Rahal, Marc Blondel, Greg Moore and Jimmy Vasser dropped down to 12th. And that has been it for an absolutely fantastic first overall race I did. I really enjoyed that, and I think we were doing pretty well up until that incident that ended our race. And I'm very happy to announce that the next race also will be an oval race, as we will be going to Gateway. Let's hope this works better there, but I'm very optimistic for the upcoming races now. Well, I suggest that you subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss it. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I hope to see you all for the next round at Gateway. Until then, goodbye.